I'm joined by Ted Bay, the Crops and Farm Management Agent for Grant and Lafayette County Extension. And Ted, we are just to the west of Cuba City, about 5 miles on the John and Evie Hamilton farm. And we're out looking at the alfalfa crop, the winter kill that the Hamiltons experienced in the fall of 2012 and the spring of 2013. And you dug up some plants, and why don't you tell us what the alfalfa is telling you?
Well, we went through the field, and this is a stand that's 3 years old. This is going to be its third production year here. And like a lot of people are seeing, we had areas in the field where it was brown, the plants were not greening up. And so when we dig plants in that area, what we found is something that looked like this. This is a plant that's pretty well had it. When you first dig it up and you test below the crown, you can feel that it's very soft. We kind of call it a ropey sort of a texture there, but it's soft. And when you open it up, we have a brown color going through the root system here, and we just refer to that as discoloration, and it's caused by winter injury. John commented about how ice was sitting on this part of the field, and plants need to breathe during the winter, and the cold can also damage them, but with the ice sitting on there for several weeks, this is the result of it. When we went through that area, we were able to find a plant that was starting to green up a little bit, and so when we dug that one, we can see some buds here that have started to develop, but we also have the discoloration in there, but the root is a little more firmer. The discoloration isn't complete all the way across the root profile, so there's a good chance that this plant would produce alfalfa through this coming growing season, but probably would not make it through another winter. And then as we proceeded across, we found areas where there were some good alfalfa plants that looked like this, and when we split them open, what we found, first of all, that the texture of the root right below the crown is very solid, like a carrot, and that's how it's supposed to feel. And then when we split it open, we want to see a white or an off-white color, and this plant shows that perfectly here. So what we've got is a very healthy plant. When we fold it back together, if we were to go around this crown on this plant and count the stems, which we did earlier, we're somewhere around 35 to 40 stems on this plant. And that tells us that if we had 2 of these plants per square foot, we would have a yield potential of greater than 5 ton per acre. There's kind of a direct relationship. If we're counting stems per square foot and we're at 30 stems, let's say, that would indicate a yield potential of 3 ton per acre. 40 stems indicates a yield potential of 4 ton per acre, and it goes up to where we'd like to have 55 or more stems per square foot, and that indicates the greatest yield potential that we would expect in an alfalfa field. So if we had all of these kind of plants, we'd be there and we'd have a very healthy stand, but unfortunately winter injury has affected a lot of the areas of this field, and the producer in this case has chosen to that field's going to be planted to corn this spring.
Yeah, John had indicated it was a storm at the end of January that really sealed the fate, wasn't it?
That's right. We had a warm spell there where we had actually water running across fields, and then it turned very cold very quickly, and that formed ice sheets. And so that very cold sheet of ice right next to the crowns is what caused the damage.
Again, Ted Bay is the Crops and Farm Management Agent for Grant and Lafayette County Extension. We've been talking with him about winter kill in an alfalfa field about 5 miles to the west of Cuba City on the John and Evie Hamilton farm.